how to combine melodic fills with basic strumming patterns. It all comes down to knowing these open position scales. Let's break this down. Okay, close look at the fretboard, getting started with this quick beginner-friendly lesson on how to combine some melodic fills and also your strumming patterns over two very common chords. We're going to do G major and C major today. Now, as I mentioned before, the trick is knowing the open position scale from which the chord you're playing over top of is drawn from. All right, that's going to provide you with all the notes that you can use to create melodies. So, over the G major chord, we would draw notes from the G major scale. In its open position, it's going to look and sound like this. Real slow. Okay, so that was 3rd fret of the low E string, G, our root note, onto the A string, 0, 2, 3, onto the D string, 0, 2, 4, stretching with the pinky, and then the open G string to complete 1 octave. That gives us the notes G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now we're just going to find those notes again in the 2nd octave. So we're going to go to the 2nd fret of the G string, then the open B string, 1st fret of the B string, up to the 3rd fret, and then on the high E string, 0, 2, 3. Okay, that 2nd octave. All right, put it all together and we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. It's so important that you practice singing your scales as you practice them. That way you're getting the most out of your practice time. Okay, very good everybody. Now that you have that open G major scale down, you can start trying to squeeze those notes into your strumming patterns. So if you're a beginner, you might want to start with a pattern like bass, down, up, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, that's the perfect pattern to start with. Now, if you're a beginner, you can start throwing in some very, very easy basic melodies. Something like O, 2, O. That's the D string going to the G string. So 0, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, very, very basic. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can try to jazz it up a little bit by throwing in some hammer-ons, maybe some pull-offs. Or O, 2, O, hammer to the 2nd fret G string, and then the open G. All right, it's a great little melody, very common fill. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and. Okay, a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and. Okay, so that lick right there really sums up the trick. It's knowing which notes to play, that's coming from the scale, but it's also familiarizing yourselves with the rhythm of these typical melodies that get squeezed in between your strums, and also which beats to start from. So right there, we're playing 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and. That 3 and a 4 and a very, very common melodic fill that you can throw in between your strums. Okay, if you can do that kind of beginner approach, then let's get something a little bit more advanced. Okay, moving right along, now that you have the basic approach, let's see if we can add a complete practice routine in the key of G. And of course, I have all the tabs available for you at patreon.com/Swiftlessons. Okay, so once more, it's gonna sound like this real slow. And at full speed, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so in this example, I'm starting off with the G major chord, just performing that basic strumming pattern for context. So bass, down, up, Then in measure 2, we're gonna throw in that bass down, and then that 0, 2, 0. Same lick we played before. Hammer on the D string, 0 to 2, then the open G string. So bass down, up, down, bass down, O to O. All right, then we're back to the strumming pattern in measure number 3, bass down, up, up. Then we're gonna get fancy with it before returning back to the strumming pattern. So that lick one more time. We're basically just kind of playing the scale verbatim, adding in some hammers and pulls. So it's starting off on the G string, 0, 2, 0, with a hammer and a pull. Now make sure when you're pulling off, you're actually kind of plucking the string with your fret in hand. All right, then we're going down the scale, the D string 4th fret, down to 2, pull off to 0. All right, then to the A string 3, down to 2, pull off to 0, and then return back to the root note G to start the strumming pattern again. So, it's gonna have a very specific rhythm. Okay, so far you have in this routine a bass down, up, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and all right, and then just return back to the strumming pattern, which is a little bit tricky. Okay, counting it out. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay, a little bit faster going through the entire routine. It should sound like this. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just like that. Okay, very good everybody. You've learned how to play the open G major scale. You've learned how to combine some strumming patterns and melodic fills in the key of G. Now, for the final step for today's lesson, we're going to learn some techniques now in the key of C, a 4th up. So it's gonna be very easy as long as you know how to play the open C major scale. Okay, so very simple. We have the 3rd fret of the A string, C our root note. Then onto the D string, 0, 2, 3. The open G string, the 2nd fret. Then the open B string, and the 1st fret of the B string, C to complete the octave. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Keep on singing everybody. We can go into the next octave now, the 3rd fret. The open high E string, the 1st fret F, and then up to the 3rd fret, a G note. All in all, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, we can put that to work and create this practice routine in the key of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and real slow. A 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, breaking that down, very simple. Basically the exact same thing that we played in G, just transposed and changed around a little bit. So, the C chord, bass, down, up, bass, down. Then that same fill. 0, 2 on the D, and then the open G string works for the C chord as well. All right, then back to the strumming pattern. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now another very nice, kind of faster descending lick. Okay, on the B string, 0, 1, 0 with the hammer and the pull. All right, then onto the G string, 2, 0. onto the D string, 3, 2, pull off to 0. So far you have. All right, then we're gonna go to the B note, 2nd fret of the A string, to walk up back to the C chord where you're going to start the pattern over again. So. Okay, you put that entire routine together and we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. For your week of practice.